starting as a list. Then the difficulties of the database. The difficulties I can face it from this database. And the worst case. So the consequences. The consequences of this problem. Last, what is the solution of this problem? Such way, you have to correspond point by point, please. The things will be clear for you. So, the database, what it is? The database, it is a tool. So now I am using this computer as a tool to deliver you this class. But what is the purpose of this tool? To collect a data. In which way? Very organized way. Then we have the definition of the database. What is the database? What it is? It is a tool for collecting and organizing. We are concerning about information. Definitely yes. Did you get the point? What is the database? What it is? It is a tool for what? For collecting and organizing. Two things together. If just collecting, for example, think about the store. Just I am putting things inside. So this is, if you want to find something out of that, it will be very difficult to you. Why? Because it is not in an arranged way. It is not organized. But if I am keeping all the name under one column, all the student IDs under one column, such way, what I have, I'm having a well-organized data in organized way. Then I can refer to that easily. If I'm looking for a major for a student, yes, I can get. If I am looking about, for example, an ID of the students, it is very easy for me to catch that ID of that student without any problem, because the data in an arranged way, in a formal way. So things is very easiest for me. Yes, it is, because it is an organized manner of data. Yes, it is. So we are section 4. Okay, let us consider it any. So under the student ID, because it is organized way, so all the student ID in one column, all the student name English language in one column, all the student name in Arabic language in another column. By this way, the major it will be somewhere here. Yes, it is. So this is an organized way. Getting back to our slide. So the database is a tool for what? For collecting and organizing information. Then what is the purpose of this database? Only one thing. I want to store the data. I want to store the information. That's it. That's it. So only one purpose of this data, to save our information. But this is a generally information about what? About everything. That's why database for everything, for people, for products, for items, for students, for employees, for cars, for mobiles. Yes, information regard anything. We can keep it in a form of database. But this is very important. Point number 3. Any data can be kept in form of database. The answer is no. Any data can be kept in a form of the database? Of course not. Why? Because the idea of the database, it will become in a list. So think about a list. A list, it is a structure of column and row. Column vertically, row horizontally. Then I can transfer this data in database. Again, please let me get to this slide. I made it to make the things easiest for me. How the databases start? If I have a list, column and row, simply table, then I can think later to make this data as a database. This is the idea. Okay, so the database can be traditional database in a form of, or this list can be traditional database in just Microsoft Word, or just can be in Excel, Word, or Excel, normal table. But that normal table will take us to some difficulties. So when that can occur, these difficulties, when this list become bigger and bigger. So if I have more columns, more rows day by day, think about, for example, normal table in Word for Lulu Hypermarket. They are keeping the items, they are keeping the prices, they are keeping the date of production, date of uh, expiration by this way. So day by day, I'm having new products, new items. Okay, so this list become very huge. Then it is very difficult to deal with that. Difficult is to deal with this task. It will become very hard to be understood for me. When? When we have more items, when we have more rows, when we have more columns. Where it will take us, the consequences. The consequences, we call it dead situation. Means this is the limit. We cannot move behind that. So we call it limitation. Limit, that means we cannot go behind that. Cannot go behind that. For example, right now I'm inside my office. I have only one way to get out and in, right? But if I'm trying to go from, for example, backside to my chair, there is a wall. So this is the limit of my office. I cannot cross it. A limit means you cannot cross that. So the limitation of this traditional list, when I'm looking for example, piece of information out from the whole, it will be very difficult for me. And even I can get rid of, forget it. Simply, if I'm looking for a simple item price between all these things inside the Lulu, it's very difficult, really very difficult. Okay. Again, another example, if you are thinking about the civil records of ROP, police, royal police. So if they are looking for someone, if he is citizen or if he is foreigner, if they are not having a proper database, very difficult to deal with that task. Okay, so now we will come to the last. What is the solution for these consequences? There is only one solution to have database management system. Transferring this list to an electronic list. So what is the useful of that? The useful of that, for example, right now, if I am writing 1910246, huh? I am having an electronic system. Who this ID? Is Khalid? I think so. So an information will come regard Khalid, everything's front of me. This by the help of whom? By the help of this electronic system. So it solved my problems completely, right? So simply this is what? This is a database. To make this slide easiest for me, I have to ask myself this question. First, what is the database? It is a tool for two things, collecting and organizing information. The purpose, the goal of this database, saving information about anything, people, products, orders, as I told you. Okay, any data can be in form of database? No, unless column row wise. Column row wise, we call it list. This is in a computer or even paper based, it is just a list. It is not an electronic system. So it is a list, normal list. Then you have to think this list can be a database. Why? Because this list later it will have some difficulties. How? It will be very hard to understand, especially when I have more columns, when I have more rows. This we call it grossing of this list. The worst case, the consequences of that list, it will take me to dead situation, dead point. So we call it limitation. Limitation means you cannot go behind. You cannot cross it. You have to stop here. Halas, this is dead. And there's any solution for that? Of course, yes, because any problem having a solution. So the solution for alphabetics, that is DBMS, short for database management systems. That is why right now most of the people running behind the database management system, and I'm going to stop here. So now sessions is yours. If you have any difficulties, no, in this is just an example. So is it clear? No need for comment outside the class topic. Yes, comment within the topic only. Is it clear, everybody? Okay, I have to stop the recording here. Anybody having some? Okay, good. Okay, good. So I'm going to stop here because I will upload this material and it will be very heavy for some people. I'm stopping the recording. If you have anything, WhatsApp group or whatever, but I'm stopping the recording. Then we complete.